What's going on, everybody? We are back, Mike. We're back with the Mike and Mish show. What's going on, Mike?
What's happening, man? We are doing our first pre-recorded show. When you're watching this now, it's going to be live, but right now, it's not live.
When will then be now?
Then will be now when now is then.
Soon. The answer is soon. That is a line out of Spaceballs. Get your shit together. Hey, we're going to do our sponsor reads real quick, and then we're going to come on with our first guest of the evening, who we have not seen in a very long time inside the squared circle. Chris Sarro will be here in a second, but before we do that, let's pay some bills. Here we go.
Norcom Mortgage and Michael Mish are delivering the American dream to those who serve America, helping veterans obtain the dream of home ownership. They offer programs that include no money down, no first-time homebuyer requirement, 100% cash-out refinances, rehab loans. They can help you purchase a home, purchase a condo, refinance an existing mortgage, create a dream home with rehab loan. To learn more, visit www.michaelmish.norcommortgage.com or call 860-884-2103.
You hear it every week. Best in the business, Mike Mish, not just my cousin, but a top 1% mortgage broker in the country. Norcom Mortgage, call him 860-884-2103. Mike is licensed in 38 states in the United States. He can help you all over the country. If you want to be a homeowner or want to renovate your home or whatever you need to do when it involves a loan, you hit up Mike. You see me wearing it. You see Mike wearing it. Guerrilla Warfare Apparel. Go to guerrillawarfareapparel.com. Buy yourself some stuff. Use promo code Mike and Mish and get 15% off your total purchase. And you could look as cool as the guys on your screen right now. Right. Supplements, dude. Everybody's getting back in the gym. In the gym. Beach season's coming. Condemned Labz, man. CondemnedLabz.com. These supplements are strong, high quality supplements. I know I've taken every supplement under the sun, and I give these guys the stamp of approval big time. Go to condemnedlabs.com, get some stuff, use promo code Mike and Mish, get 10% off your purchase, and you'll thank me later. And last but not least, we got Bareknuckle corn snacks. These things are delicious. I just ate a bag of the dill pickle flavored popcorn while I watched Game Bread Boxing 4 last night, which was fantastic. I think we're going to talk a little bit about that. And he's not really a sponsor right now. He said he's going to come back on pretty soon. But BKBetShark, we still follow you, bro. Everybody go follow the BKBetShark. He's the man. He's making all kinds of money. He batted 1,000 the last time he his bet card was like 7 for 7 or 8 for 8 last time, and he cleaned house. Every one of his bets made him, at least 3 figures. It was $100 or more on every single one of those things. And that guy was happy that night, Mike.
Dude, unbelievable picks. Yeah, he's doing great. And I'm telling you, I tell people at work, and I tell people, whoever will listen to my ass, tell them what to do. If you want to take some advice from me, this is the one thing you should actually listen to. Go to BKBetShark and just follow the bets that he puts down. If you hate money, don't do it. That's it.
But if you like easy money, just go hit him up, man. Instagram at BKBetShark.
Yeah, BetShark.
There you go. Hey, man. The guy we're having on in a second here, we have not seen him in the squared circle for 15 months, dude. Man, that's way too fucking long.
Too long.
He was our first in-person interview, I believe. First or second in-person interview that we ever did at a live event.
Yep.
He's been on the show multiple times. Last time we talked to him, it was right before he fought Quentin Henry in an absolute war.
25th of January, 2022. That's...
Yeah,
forever ago.
He was walking the streets of one of our favorite areas down here in Miami, right?
Yeah,
the Wynwood Walls or whatever it's called. Yeah, man, we have a blast down there every time. Let's go ahead and bring him on. He is taking on the Tomahawk, Steve Townsel, and we're going to talk to him about how hard it's been to actually get this thing together. Here he is, straight out of Maine. New England boy down in Florida, I believe.
Yeah.
Here he is,
Yeah.
Mr. Golden Gloves himself, Chris Sarro. What's
What's
up,
up,
Chris?
Craig? Not
Yo.
much, man. Living life down here in Miami. South
Down
Beach
there.
boxing.
Dude,
Fucking
beautiful Miami.
ready.
What's
Yep.
the weather like in Miami right now?
80 with a slight breeze, humid during the day, beautiful in the morning, beautiful in the evening. I'm about to go for a run when I'm done talking with you guys, and I love it at night. It's a little cool this time of year at night. It's perfect. Nothing compared to Maine, of course, but I'll take it.
You know, it's starting to warm up here finally. Like you know the New England weather better than anybody.
You guys are in Connecticut, right?
Yeah, I'm in Connecticut.
Yeah.
He's in Rhode Island.
Yeah. So yeah, same thing.
But it's like we've been hitting like 55, close to 60s now. But
that's so nice. That in New England, that's perfect. T-shirt weather.
Yeah,
but dude, we had like 60-degree weather a couple days ago, and the very next day it was like 24 degrees in the morning, and there was frost on the car, and then it was back up to 55 at noon. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, that's New England though. I kind of miss it though because it works with my bipolar. We get along. I understand New England.
Oh man, so hey man, like let's talk about this long break that you've been on. Last time we saw you, you went to war with Quentin Henry. You guys were going back and forth in that one. You didn't get the W there, but you've had a long break here, and the guy you're about to fight. This is the fourth time. Now let's go real quick. June 24th, BKFC 26. They tried to schedule this one. Then BKFC 34, December 3rd. Then the Delray Beach debacle happens. And now here we are going to Hollywood,
Watergate.
Florida. Yeah. What was that like down there in Delray? Can you talk about that for a second?
Well, so I don't know what the fuck really went down. You know, I know what I was told, and but there's a lot of like it didn't make sense because we did a parade in Delray. Me, my opponent, a bunch of other BKFC fighters, Nelson Lopez, where we a parade that went around the tennis center, like and thousands of people came out of in the city. We handed out thousands of flyers, thousands. Like saying that this is a Bareknuckle event, everyone knew it was a Bareknuckle event, but it was shocking because of all the work I put into this, and then I made weight the night before. Like that's how in shape I am for this fight, and I've stayed on point like with my weight. I went even harder when I came back we went right back to work the next day. My opponent was out drinking, having a good time. I went right back I hit the road. I got no time for fuckery. And
Chris, is making 205 easy for you now? Because I remember when me and Mike ran into you, and I want to say where did you fight? Is Birmingham, Alabama against Isatula?
Yeah,
that was a rough cut for you, right?
I was dry. Yeah, that was a live and learn kind of situation,
Right.
I was doing everything the wrong way back then, and now I'm doing everything the right way, and have been for a while. Not just like I'm doing it right now. I have been. That's what this past 15 months has been about. I got, by the grace of God, I met my paths crossed with Orlando Cuellar, Hall of Fame boxing coach. 29 world champions. He brought Glenn Johnson up from a 9-fight, losing record all the way to knocking out Roy Jones Jr. He's a legend in the sport, and our paths just happened to cross by fate. And now he's like a second dad to me, and he's changed my entire game. I mean, while I've been away, I've been grinding like never before. I've been trying to figure out what it is. And then, but then I came across Orlando. Now I got like an all-star team, all figuring out, what it is and all the puzzle pieces that are missing. My camp has been full of world champions, from Trevor Bryan to John Pascal, 5-time world champ. I mean, and these are competitive rounds, like highly competitive. And then now Rancis Bartholomew, who's been my entire camp, and he'll be there in my corner that night. Him and Orlando. And again, 2-time world champion, WBC, 2-division world champ. And these are competitive rounds, highly competitive. There's no footage. You ain't going to find any footage out there of it. We're putting in serious fucking work. And we're letting this guy talk and talk and talk, but I've been through hell and back, to make this fight happen. I ain't running from nobody. I lost a dear friend of mine, Mike Shorey, to cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you've been through a lot. And can I ask you, what is there like real animosity between you and Townsel, or has he just been building it up since the fights keep getting moved or canceled or whatever keeps happening? Is he just like using that as fuel to hate you? Is that what he's doing?
I got no issues with the guy. I'm treating this purely as this is my job to go out there and completely dismantle this human from head to toe. So I don't bring feelings into the mix. I've got nothing against Steven. He's never offended me. I've never done anything to offend him. It's been by fate. I was in an extremely serious motorcycle accident November 29th, 4 days out from my December 3rd bout that I had a whole camp for. He did as well. So it's hard not to have respect for another athlete because they're going through the same process. You'd have to be, an asshole to not have general respect. But that's as far as it goes with me. And then I shut off the switch. I don't allow any more emotions to come into the mix because what I plan on doing when I go out there is not going to look nice, and it's not going to feel nice, and I don't want to have any kind of connection to the person, the human. I want to be disconnected from that when I go out there, and I am. I'm treating this as like this is live or die.
Right.
I'm coming out there. You guys are going to see a serious version of myself, and the most elevated version of myself. And I'm going to be the most focused, which I feel is we have cracked the egg and figured out that is where I am my most dangerous.
It's never been a technical thing with you though, right? Like you've always been a real technical boxer. Your technique has always been real sharp. And when we always see your training videos in the past, we had, like you said, there's not a lot of footage of you this time around. So you're keeping that kind of behind closed doors. But was it more of a mental thing that you needed to get in line?
I was on a 7-year winning streak for 7 years from the amateurs into the pros, just knocking everyone out that got in front of me. And so that does something to somebody's, your mentality. You start to just think that you're untouchable. And then I found out with Josh Burns that I'm touchable and I'm human. But I wouldn't trade that for $1 million if you offered it in cash in front of me right now. That was the best thing that ever could have happened to me because it knocked me down and it taught me how to, we learn our lessons in front of millions and millions and millions of people.
Yeah.
So we get served it cold, and then that really is a gut check on, are you cut out for this or not? And so a lot of these fires I've had to walk through have really let me know, is this really what you want to fucking be doing with your, and it's like, you're damn right. Now I know you can't stop me. After that motorcycle accident, I flew home covered in blood. I went straight from the accident on the highway or Uber to the airport. I flew home and I cut my weight, and I knew they weren't going to probably allow it because of this big gash on my cheek from the accident and fractured my wrist. I was just I put so much work into this where I was like, I'm fucking going home. I'm making my weight. And I did. And so at least in my head, I know I've never missed weight, but
I saw that video, the whole kind of like montage video, and Kyle and I were talking about like, oh Jesus, what the fuck? He got into a motorcycle accident, and then we know you got to weigh in soon, and BKFC and the commission, they're like, I don't know about this.
The gash on my face is right to the bone.
What was the accident? Did someone pull out in front of you?
I was on my chopper down here, and I was just getting off Alton Way onto the highway, onto Route 1, and this big Freightliner van, those like big tall white vans, commercial vans, was in the left lane. Excuse me, and the car in front of them was going slow. When someone just does the pissed off swerve around real fast?
Yes.
Well, he did that, and I was on the right side of him. He had no idea.
Oh,
and
shit.
so last thing I remember was a flash of white from the van, and I'm lucky to be alive because it just smashed me into the concrete wall on the highway. And I woke up like 40, 50 feet from my bike. My bike was in shambles. And that was the first time I've ever been knocked out. I've never been knocked out in my whole fighting career. I've been,
Jesus,
I've been put
holy
down, but I
shit.
always get back up. But yeah, it was a serious thing. I had blood gushing out my face and fractured my wrist. And I was like still trying to put my motorcycle together. I mean, the tank was severed, the handlebar. And I was like sitting on it and it would fall into pieces. And the cops were all just watching me, waiting for me to like, I did
Knock
it
it
like 3
off.
times. And then I realized there's a pile of pieces. So my brain, I was just like, it was so serious. And it threw me for a loop because I put so much work, so much like honest, good, hard work into that fight. The first thing I thought when I opened my eyes and I was on the highway, I go, okay, God, what are you trying to tell me here? Because I know like this is like the path you wanted me to be on, and now you're trying to tell me something. And I still don't know exactly what, but all I know is the fight wasn't meant to happen right then, but it's meant to happen now. I feel it in on a molecular level, like it's Christmas. Like I'm counting the days because I know I've already faced off with this man, and I know he doesn't want any of this. And I know I was put on this earth. Like now I know from walking through these fires with blind faith that this is exactly what I was put on this earth for. And I have a whole different demeanor about myself. I really found my potential in these last 15 months. And that's what I'm excited to showcase,
Is it getting sickening having to look at like the same guy all the time and think about the
Yeah.
same guy and train for the same guy and face off?
Yeah, but
like, is that getting like sickening or what? Because it's been for a
it's
long
fucking
time
weird,
now.
but I'm like, I'm crazy with it anyways. So I like it because I know it's different. I know no other fighters really had to like go through this before, so I'm getting to experience something that like
You
not
and
many
Tony
other
Ferguson
fighters
and
have.
Khabib.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's pretty similar where you have like 15. We signed our first contract like 13 months ago to fight each other or something like that, or a year ago. And so, yeah, to like go this long. But I don't know about him. I don't know if but all I can say for me is it makes me more hungry by the day. I'm learning that about myself. I didn't know. If you had told me years ago, how do you think you deal in a situation like this? I couldn't tell you. But now I'm seeing that, oh shit, it just makes me like I get more antsy every day just to get my fucking hands on them. And so it's interesting.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen April 21st. I don't care if it's gotta go down the parking lot. We ain't leaving that fucking building. We aren't leaving.
That Hollywood casino there is nice. Like that event center.
So nice.
Like Kyle and I have talked about this before for other events. When we first stepped foot inside of that event center there, I mean, it's nice inside, but we didn't like the way it was set up with the like one angle, like it's like an auditorium kind of.
Yeah,
and we were looking at it.
And
we were like, I don't know if we like this. This kind of sucks. And then it started and it got packed in there and it was awesome. And now it's like my favorite place, probably. I love it there.
Yeah, it's a cool venue there. And I think like I like the geometry of the whole thing, or the percussion, how it's all designed, because you can hear I've been to 20, 18 like events between fighting in them or just attending them as like a fan, and some of them you can't really hear the bone on bone. Yeah. But I've noticed that one at the Hard Rock, you hear it, like you hear every punch super loud in there. It's it's pronounced. I like it.
Oh yeah.
But I'm excited, man. I'm letting him talk because everything that this guy says, he doesn't realize. I'm just like putting everything he says, I'm just putting it in this little bottle, and then come fight night, I'm just gonna pop the cap off that bitch, beat him over the head with it. He has no idea. I'm just letting him talk because I've been through serious, like, I was up running last night because I'm excited 24/7. Itching. I'm running at 2 a.m. and I know he's asleep, and he's all making fun of me today. He's at the beach with his kids. It's like, yeah, motherfucker, I can't be around my boy. My boy's back in Maine waiting for his dad to get home after I whoop your ass. I'm down here sacrificing valuable time with my son. I missed out on a funeral, for one of my best friends. He's got a serious primal fucking beating coming. But wow. Let him keep talking because he's just pouring gasoline on a serious fucking fire.
Yeah, I was gonna say a little fact about Townsel is this will be his third fight that I know of in
the BKFC.
Yeah, in the BKFC, his third fight in that same arena.
Because all three of them been
he
there.
fought Idris Wasi there, and we saw it. That was a nice back and forth banger. But he lost to Trujillo too with that, with a major knockout. But this will be his third fight in that arena, which is kind of a little fun fact I just realized.
Yeah, Chris, when you watch, like, obviously you do your homework and you watch film on your opponents. I mean, the Gustavo Trujillo fight didn't last all that long. He stood toe to toe with Gustavo until he wasn't standing anymore.
That's just it. He went to sleep.
I don't go to sleep. Gustavo's got that power. But the Idris Wasi fight, Wasi took that on like 4 days' notice. And they went, I think 12. They went like 4 rounds, right? Something like that.
9, what do you think? 9 days notice. Yeah, they went like 3 or 4 rounds.
What do you think about his performance in
that? I think Steve does a few things really well, and I believe he's limited. And and I know I've been in this game since I was 18 years old. And since I started, I approached it like a full-time, like professional athlete. No, I was in the amateurs. I was in there with grown-ass men, so I was training full-time right since day one because this was like my church when I found it. And I got years on him, and that's not. I cannot throw that time away, or forget about that. And he's not. I have serious, just years upon years. More hard labor and work put into this than he does, and with high level competition. I've worked with world champions all over the world. I boxed for Gleason's Gym, Ring One Boxing. I am a New England Golden Gloves, and but I've gone right down the line, and I've been in the ring with some serious fucking people that I know he has not, and it's all going to come into fruition, April 21st. I've never felt so confident going into a fight. Just because I have tapped into my potential in these last 15 fucking camps. I'm with one of the best coaches on the planet, Orlando Cuellar. He's one of the best living coaches on the planet, and his accomplishments. I'd be sitting here all night listing them off. And the guy knows what he's doing, and he would not waste his time. He would not waste another second in the direction that he didn't feel, doesn't benefit him as being a world-class coach. He's not going to come up standing behind someone that he doesn't think is going to whoop some fucking ass.
Because he's probably a busy guy. He's got a lot of people probably want to train with him.
He's got all over the world that want to, all over the world that want him. And so I don't waste a second with him, and I'm grateful for every second, and I take advantage of every second, to the fullest. And I don't take anything for granted. And he's right. He couldn't be more behind me. I've never made a coach so happy in training because I'm doing everything. My diet's on point. My sleep schedule's on point. I've never been healthier, and I've never been more, more clear and centered. And that's where I'm dangerous. Everyone you can throw a punch when you're 2 fucking years old, but to go out there and have clarity of mind, not complicate things, and stay with laser-like focus. That's what separates, this level.
You sound dialed in right now for sure. Like, since you've been gone though, Chris, like we said, you've been gone 15 months. A lot's gone on. A lot has gone on since then. Like, Lorenzo's reigning supreme over the division. He had the wild Quentin Henry fight in that division. Houston Alexander's knocked out a few people along during that time. Jeremy Smith's won 3 fights during that time. So not looking past Townsel, but you do seem ultra focused. Like you said, you had the best camp of your life. You got a new coach who sounds like he's the best coach you've ever ran into. Now that you're healthy, you're healed up from your motorcycle accident, you're finally going to get this fight with Townsel. Are you trying to, stay as busy as possible in 2023
I'm
and try to climb that ladder.
destined to be the champion at 205 pounds. I'm not here for any other fucking reason. That's why I started this whole thing in the first place, you know. And all this time that we've been in the lab, we've been concocting, we've been putting that fucking monster together. And so, yeah, I'm not looking past Steve Townsel. I'm treating him like he's a 16,000-time world champion. We're not taking anybody lightly because we're not fucking up anymore. I've gone through the fire 3 times now in a row, and all it's done is, you know, on paper it's an L, but what it's done in real life, it's dangerous. What it's turned me into, you know, and I say that I'm not trying to, like, you know, sound like an idiot. I'm saying, like, I'm my most effective ever in sparring. I'm putting up my best numbers ever, you know, physically, you know, with my conditioning, and I'm more fine-tuned and, like you said, dialed in, like, with my diet and my living habits, and, you know, I'm very conscious of where I'm at right now, and so I know I'm dangerous. I know where I stand now because I get a good gauge when I'm in the ring with 2-time world champs and 5-time world champs that aren't holding back. That's your gauge right there. Now I know where I stand on this animal kingdom. And I saw the belt when we were in Delray. Someone had one of the belts on, like, the back of, like, a BKFC truck, and I couldn't grab that thing. Yeah, it felt good. And there is not one person in the you know, ranked above me or whatever, you know, in that division that I can't put out cold. And I believe that, like, at my core, we just have to start with Steven now. It's like,
I believe that too.
I believe it too.
I'm not just fucking blowing smoke up your ass. I think you really do have that ability to do that. You know, you've done it. That's the thing. You have knocked people out. You have the power there. You know, you just, like you said, you just got to get yourself dialed in and treat every fight like it's your fucking, like you're fighting a champion, and that way you can't go wrong.
I've done that since my first amateur boxing bout. I remember my first boxing coach, shout out Skeet Wyman if you're listening, but I remember him saying, "Come on, kid, you know, this ain't a world title fight," you know, and I was like, to me it is. You know, and it's been that way since day one for me, you know, how I go into every fight, you know, and each time I find a way to. Sorry.
The thing is, with your division right now, Chris, your division is kind of like in a weird state right now because Lorenzo holds that title, but he also just fought a 185 title fight and asked for a heavyweight title fight. So who knows what they do next with Lorenzo? Lorenzo could be tied up for a while outside the 205 division. So a win over Townsel and then a quick turnaround fight with a guy like Houston Alexander or something like that, or maybe a run back with Quentin Henry, maybe something like that. Like I know that you are on a 3-fight skid right now, but it doesn't fucking matter.
I just took on the number 1 in the world though, and I was there.
Right, and you went at it. You went at it with Quentin, and that was a fucking awesome fight. What I'm saying is, like,
and there was a time in that fight where it was like, oh, this might be going the other way now.
Right. Yep. 1 or 2. What I'm saying is, like, 1 or 2 wins, and I think you're right back in the conversation. And who knows what they do with Lorenzo? Lorenzo's Lorenzo. Absolutely. You know what I mean? He's a very strong-willed person, and he's very, like, he's going to go at the boss for a heavyweight shot. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to try for that. So,
well, I have a team behind me, a world-class team behind me that sees the same thing too. What that you were just saying, and they believe the same thing too. They're not looking at the L's right now. They're looking at the product, and they see what they got in front of them, and they're like, okay, well, what can we do with this? You know, world-class Hall of Fame coach Orlando Cuellar, you know, he gets me as like a project, you know, like, well, what can I do with this? And they turned me into like a fine-tuned F1 fucking machine, man. And so yeah, I wouldn't have the backing of the people that I do if they didn't believe the same thing, you know. And it all starts with me. I gotta be the one to believe it, and I live it. You know, I don't do anything else. I don't watch movies at night. I watch boxing in slow motion with muted and with my puppy. You guys want to see Jake?
Yeah, I think I've actually seen some pictures of you with Jake.
That little guy right there, man.
Which is great because you're walking around fucking, you know, cruiserweight, but former heavyweight fight, bare knuckle fighter. I'm thinking you're going to have a pit bull. I click on the little picture and it
crocodile.
And boom,
Yeah.
look what you get the little dog. So, I like it. I like that juxtaposition there with you and that.
Yeah, I got
small dog.
nothing to prove. I've proven it to myself that I got nothing to prove it. But this dog he's in the gym. My coach has a Shih Tzu. The owner of the gym has a Shih Tzu. And when it came time, I had the choice between Pit Bull or Shih Tzu Christmas time for a puppy. And everyone was like, oh, Shih Tzu. It'd be good for the kind of person I am. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it's the
My
best choice
parents
ever.
had Shih Tzus. My parents had 2 of them.
Yeah,
And,
they're great
dogs. Yeah, they're great
Great
dogs.
dogs. So loyal and so smart.
And
chicks love
you know
them.
what's funny about them is they're also protective. Like I remember, like those little dogs would bark their fucking heads off every single time a person walked to that door. You know what I mean? Like, like
there's nothing
crazy.
you can say to shut them up. Like, I don't need your protection. They're like, okay, I just have to do it. Yeah, I love it, man. It's the best thing ever was getting this dog.
Awesome.
It's like a fucking honey badger, you know what I'm saying? A fucking honey badger. And they'll fucking take on a bunch of lions, just one little honey badger. And that little dog will definitely take on humans and big dogs, no problem. Won't back off for 1 second.
No fear. But yeah, man, I know I've probably given more exciting interviews in the past, but that's because I've been more like off the rails, and I'm like, I
like this version of you, dude.
Yeah, I like it too.
I like you. So you know how you said like they're not fuck the losses, right? What the coaches are doing with you, like to equate it to me and Mike, right? We have a weapon. We have this weapon that is capable of fucking killing many, right? But you have to take it to the range and you got to zero that bitch in. If you don't have a zeroed weapon, you ain't going to fucking hit shit and you're going to lose, right? So what they did was they already took a fucking weapon that has all the skill and all the technique already there. And they just had to take it, dial it in and fucking zone it in there. And now you're zeroed and all you got to do is go execute. You know what I mean? And like we said, 1-2 wins, you're right back in the mix. And I can't wait to see what happens.
Zeroed and you're ready for qualification, my friend.
Right. You're ready to, yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, not
fuck
qualification, Mike. Just war. Not qualification.
Straight to war.
Yeah,
just
the
war.
weapons are zeroed. Let's go to war.
Statement. We're going to make a serious statement. And I couldn't be more excited. I was so excited. I made weight the night before weigh-ins. I've never done that before. That's just like how tuned in I am right now. And I can usually gauge where I'm going to be fight night by how I feel like when I show up to the hotel, and how I feel before weigh-ins and where my adrenaline's at. Dude, I was calm, centered. I like a sniper. I was ready to execute. And then when they said, "Do you get more time?" It was a hit to me, but it was a relief to him. To me, I was upset. And to him, he was drinking by 2 o'clock at the bar, and to me, I was calling my coach, hey, when we get to work, they forced me to take a couple of days off, and I still couldn't even do that. I think I took like a day and a half off, and I was all right back to getting the road work in. And I've never been so excited to because these hurt, and these coming super fast. Down the oh man, I can't wait to see what happens when I put these on his head. Can't
wait either, dude. It's gonna be fun. and it kills us. Like we've been to like a good number of the Hollywood fight cards that they've had. Mike and I are there live, but because we hadn't planned this trip, and we had already planned on going to Denver the week after.
Yeah.
And when they moved it to April 21st and they said it was Hollywood, I'm like, Mike, fuck.
That's like the easiest place for us to go to.
Damn it,
the planes are easy to get there. It's close to it's just like an easy, accessible area. And the place is awesome.
Orlando and
timing,
Vegas,
man.
Vegas,
Hey, do you think what do you guys think? Do you guys think that for those who are watching this Wednesday night, we were recording this on Sunday. So there's a big press conference on Tuesday in Vegas.
Right.
Do you think that they announced that Nevada is legalizing bare knuckle at that press conference?
I got like this weird feeling about it because it's in It's in Las Vegas, and they're putting
Right.
it on the poster. Las Vegas press conference.
Yep.
And they had a tryout there, right? Didn't they have it? They
Yeah.
had a tryout in
They
Vegas
did,
back
the
a
Mr.
couple months
Olympia.
back.
And I've known Dave
Yeah.
now for many years. It feels like fucking 5 years or something going on. That's got to be around there, over 5 years. And
Yep.
I'm starting to like see how I'm like, ooh, I smell what he's cooking.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Me too. I feel it.
Well, it just got legalized in Georgia, right? So that's a new one. And now they're doing this. I know there's a couple of fighters that live in that area, but I just really think that, that's like a good, hey, let's have this press conference in Las Vegas and then have everybody talk about the fights. And then, oh, by the way,
right,
this
We're coming
fight
to
card
Vegas.
or whatever is coming to Vegas or later this year or in the summer. Like,
well, if
how
you look
awesome
at the
would that
history
be?
of BKFC and its big announcements, like the big turning points, for the promotion, something like Nevada legalizing it and stuff does sound like the next big thing,
Yeah.
Right.
because they shock you every time. I've been with the promotion since number 9, and every time it's a new shock and like, holy fuck, Luke Rockhold and Eddie Alvarez.
Yes.
It's like it's a new shocking thing whenever they like the ones they got cooking, that then they release. So us getting to be able to compete at the MGM Grand and shit like that. I mean, what
T-Mobile. I know. Yeah, T-Mobile Arena.
T-Mobile, yeah.
So what I'm saying is like Dave, how he's a promoter. He knows what he's doing.
Right.
He posted that picture of himself the other day on like a beach or
He was
on
in the
stage,
ring, I thought.
on stage, right in front of the ring. And he said, really great meetings or something like that. Some massive news coming. Right? What did he say?
So it's something like came from the bottom. Now we're here or something.
Yeah, I just feel like that. I feel like that's the next step, and they got to get in there.
It makes sense, and with the names on the Denver card, it's only going to make Nevada look and be like, hey, they're really. I mean, everyone's talking about this card. Joe Rogan's talking about it. So I think if anything's going to get Nevada to turn its head, it's this card coming up here in Denver.
And to be able to announce something as big as BKFC and bare knuckle fighting is legalized in Las Vegas is to be able to announce it during the press conference for the biggest card with the biggest names that they've ever had all on one card.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. And actually,
I can see Dave smiling the whole time right now.
I have it. He said BKFC had a very big day today. News coming soon. Started from the bottom. Awesome. Now we hear.
Awesome. Well, I tell you what, man. Here's one thing I gotta say. So, yes, good people, bad people, we can all have success and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the amount of growth and success that this promotion's had compared to other, like startup promotions that you see them, they happen all the time. They go for a little bit. I mean, and then nothing, like Elite XC and all these things, and they amount to, and then World WSOF and then, but we've had nothing but boom, 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 boom.
Right.
And the only thing I can go to say, being like a spiritual person, is Dave Feldman. I can say personally, it's like Dave Feldman and Nate Schucker are everyone in the promotion, great people, but they're good people. And as for like promoters go, they get a bad name and bad rep because you have a rough job. You got to throw some people under the bus sometimes. You got to hurt some feelings. But they both. I can say it now because he's up in heaven, but they both gave a good amount of money to my friend that was, in hospice, passing the cancer.
Yeah, and you know what, Chris,
they didn't know him.
You can speak on Mike a little bit because I see he's been in the BK community since we started covering fights, and I've seen him post a lot and talk a lot, and I know you guys were close, and so if you want to speak on him just for a second, go ahead and tell us all about.
Well, Dave and Nate went out of their way. That was just a really good friend of a lot of people, like a dear friend of a lot of people. He wasn't a BKFC, employee of any sort, and they both donated money to, to help him out in the last, few months, the hardest time of his life, to help him and his family out. That was when Mike told me that, I was like, damn, man, like those are good people. You know, they didn't. I'm telling the world right now. The people deserve to, they to know this, but they didn't tell anyone. They didn't do that for good press and stuff like that. They did that out of the kindness of their hearts. And so when you see the growth and the speed that this promotion is growing, I can only go to say that it's because it's got good people behind it. Yeah, it's a hot, the industry. It's a brutal sport. You can't get around that. But it doesn't mean that everyone that's involved in it's got to be shitheads, and they certainly are. And I'm not saying that because they're my bosses. I've been together with them for fucking years, so it's more like family now. But they're good people, so it makes sense that all these good things are happening. And if Vegas is the next step, it only makes sense, because it's not being run by for the wrong reasons. You can tell it's being run by passionate people that really are doing this from their hearts, because they want to, and it's showing. I mean, BKFC 38, man, I never thought I'd be fucking saying that. Yeah, I thought I remember early on I had a couple thoughts like, what if I become like some bet? I'm like, you're eyeball hanging off and you fucking
shit.
But no, I'm still here. My eyes are still facing the same direction.
That shit is crazy. Like you said, you made your debut for them at BKFC 9. And now, here you are 30 events later. It's fucking crazy. What you just said, I second that totally. They've been nothing but great to me and Mike. They accepted us in, they gave us an opportunity to be on their app, and we got nothing but good things to say. And not
everybody,
just them, dude,
everybody within that community, that business, everyone's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't think of a single fucking dickhead in the group. Maybe Howie, but he doesn't count.
We always bust Howie. We got to bust him up all the time.
Howie reaches out to same thing. Like what a big, all of them. They all reach out to me. I reach out to them. Merry Christmas, Happy Birthday. How's the family? It's just like a family every time I show up to these things, and that hasn't faded since BKFC 9. It's the same cool feeling when you show up and you see everyone, you see everyone walk in the lobby, Sean and Chris, and like the normal faces, and I really, it's an exciting time we're living in. We're all going to be looking back on this, really, enjoy. These are some good, make some good memories. But hey, staying present in the moment. I got some asses to kick. And we're just getting started. So that's the exciting part. It's just a new chapter right now, And I'm glad I made it through the fucking chapter I just did. Whew! Motorcycles and women and all kinds of. But
got it out of your system, and now you. Yeah. Well, Chris, man, I'm telling you, like you said, this was a great interview with you. I like this centered, balanced, focused Chris Sarro here, and I can't even imagine what's going to happen on the 21st in Hollywood, Florida. Everybody that's watching, make sure you get on the app, you get that fucking app, and you watch this event, because it's not just this fight. There's a lot of great fights. There's a lot of great fights on this card.
That's a great card.
You got the people's main event right here, but you also have, you got the return of Dat Win fighting Daniel Strauss. You got
Boswick and
the Honey Badger. You got HD Davis on there. There's a lot of good fights. You got Tyler Randall and Superfly.
Yep.
It's a great card. Top to bottom, great card. Can't wait to see what you do in there. We don't want to keep you all night here. We're going to speed round you real quick, and then we're going to let you get on your run, because we know you got to go run. All right? Yes, speed round with Chris Sarro. It's been 15 months. Let's ask him some questions. Number one, name 3 things you like better in Miami than in Maine.
The women, the weather, and the sushi.
That's
I thought you were gonna have 3 W's there, but the women, weather, and sushi.
What would the third W be? Wu-Tang, maybe.
I don't know.
Weed.
There you go.
The weed, yeah.
That might be right. I don't know though. I think Maine might have. Who knows?
No, Maine trumps. Yeah, it's like Maine, Cali, then the rest of the world. Yeah,
Maine's got that Canadian dank coming down over the fucking border. All right, number 2. Here we go.
What is your go-to pizza?
Go-to pizza? Margarita pie. Margarita pie. I like a good grande mozzarella
Yeah,
with that
fresh
chunky
mozzarella.
tomato sauce and a thin but airy crust. Bellissimo.
Yeah,
He knows.
Mangia mia.
Yeah.
All right, number 3. What is one thing you have never done but really want to do?
Skydive. And strip. I almost became a stripper when I was living in Connecticut, and because I heard the money is great, but I think I'm about to start coming into better money anyway. So yeah, I'd say I'll stick with skydiving.
Stripper.
Fuck it. Give it a shot.
Yeah.
Get out there.
Fuck it. Magic Chris.
I just saw Joe Miggs, I think, went, Joe Miggs, he lives right down in Miami. I think I just saw
not stripping, skydiving.
Yeah, skydiving. I never saw him strip, but.
Yeah, Joe did just go jump out of a plane. I saw that crazy buck. Shout out Joe Miggs.
Still looked like he was taking a picture for IMDb, though. His face was like completely calm.
Yeah, the perfect still
shot up there in fucking sky.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Yep. The perfectly lined up beard, everything. He's always on point. Here we go.
All right, number 4. What were your top 3 CDs in high school?
CDs, kids.
Okay, CDs. Linkin Park. Linkin Park, Hybrid Theory.
Nice.
PODs, Youth of a Nation, and PODs, I'd say Satellite. Those 3. I burnt the tar out of those things.
Those are all solid. Those are we the same age? How old are you?
34.
You're 34.
Oh yeah, quite younger than I guess.
Oh, so you were listening.
It's kind of wild because I
stuff from
I was listening to Headstrong and shit like that. 2000. I graduated 2006.
Because all that shit you just said was super popular when I was in high school. I graduated in 2000.
Yeah, well, it didn't fade. This was back when music stayed cool for a few years. Remember?
Yeah, no.
Now everything just goes so fast. You're just
you buy a CD and it's cool 2 years later. Yeah.
And you listen to all the songs and not just one song, and then the person disappears. You're like, who is
this?
Oh
my God, dude. I was the kid in high school that had the Discman because it fit in jean pockets back then with the big Sony headphones and the skateboard. And
Janko jeans.
Oh, yeah, I had those. That was 5th, 6th grade. They covered the top of my shoe.
Yeah.
Like a weird, elephant legs. Yeah.
That shit is funny, dude.
I had the bowl cut. That was this short on the sides and then full mushroom and parted in the middle. I will never find it.
Yeah,
never show.
Yeah, me too. I had that same haircut.
G'd up from the feed up, Fubu Sport or whatever boss. Yeah.
Fubu, Boss, Paco, Jenko, Anichi, and
I mean, if you were skating too, if you were skating, Volcom was real.
Yeah,
dude.
Shit. Yeah, no, I still listen to all that music, man. I just tagged you guys in on Instagram, reel to Limp Bizkit. That shit never gets old to me. That's my ass kicking music. The music that ever whatever music I would play with my friends back in the day when we'd be in the car, rushing to the parking lot to go some 5-on-5. It's either Tupac or Slipknot or Limp Bizkit. Those hit me right, or Rob Zombie. Yeah.
Oh man, I remember when I first heard "Wait and Bleed" by Slipknot. That was the first song by them that I heard, and I was like, "Whoa, what's this?" And then I got their album, and I worked at Strawberries. You remember Strawberries back?
Oh, you worked at Strawberries? Only in New England is Strawberries. Yeah,
dude, sure. I fucking loved that job, and I had a humongous CD collection because I worked there, and it was fucking I mean, those are good times. Those are the good times when music was really chart topping and shit. And now, Mike and I were we're like, how the fuck did Taylor Swift get every single on the top 100, 1 through 10 is all her? How is that possible now? Oh, because they released some one song.
We were living in a twilight zone, so that. Yeah, that's mind-boggling, but that's on the bottom
because it's all streamed. It's all because when she released an album, right? So she releases an album on the streaming platforms, and then everybody's streaming those 1 through 10 songs on that album all day for a fucking week straight.
So picks that up.
So the algorithm picks it up, and now they're the top 10 of the top 100 songs in the world are all
scary, man. It's
fucking
scary.
stupid.
Back in the day, it was so much harder to do that because you only got one friggin' song, which was the single. And then if you got the single, there was another song on the B side, which most of the time was a shitty song. Every now and then you get lucky and it was something good. But other than that, you wouldn't know unless you bought the CD and then you listen to the whole thing over and over and over again, and you would never hear any other song after that.
Mike, do you remember what the other side of the single for when Eminem came out with "Hi, My Name Is"? The other song on the single was "If I Had $1 Million."
Yeah.
And that's one of his best songs of all time, but it was the fucking "Hi, My Name Is" the one that like popped on the radio. You know what I mean? Yeah, that was when music was fucking fantastic.
Speaking of
what was
Eminem,
on the B side of Meredith Brooks' "I'm a Bitch" single?
Oh no, I have no idea.
I'm still a bitch.
Still a bitch. I'm a cunt.
Hey, speaking of Eminem, what happened to your blonde hair? I thought you had the blonde going.
Oh, it's coming back. I mean, it's just like I have to always keep my hair cut because I have OCD, and so I just got it cut today and give it like 4 or 5 more days. But I'm gonna have it silver for the fight, like platinum silver.
Platinum. Okay, cool. That was a decent. I like that. You know, it's a nice little change. It's like a change because you've been gone for so long, and all of a sudden you come back and you got blonde hair. And it's a nice
I don't
change.
feel like the same person, so I don't feel like I want to look like the same Spartan. But I think I always kind of look like an angry, pissed off Gerard Butler from that McAllister fight.
Now, hey, this last question that we have for you.
Sure.
I feel like you may have already answered it a little bit with the bowl cut part down the middle or the Jenko jeans covering the shoes. So
we know he was doing that on purpose, though.
What's the most embarrassing moment in your entire childhood?
All right, you want to know? All right, so I went camping with my family when I was in 7th grade. And we went to New Hampshire somewhere, some fucking big long ass name lake. And I set my tent up myself, and I didn't put the spikes in the ground. And I was at the top of like a huge hill, and there's a stream at the bottom. And I wake up in the middle of the night, and in my tent, there's it's like 6 inches of water running through my tent, and crickets all over my face and the top. And I started screaming like, "Mom!" And I hear my family laughing hysterically, and I rip my way out of this fucking tent, and I'm at the bottom of like a 20-foot hill in my sleep. Must have been one hell of a dream. Because I roll around so much in my sleep, and my exes all hate me for it. I move a lot, fucking swinging them, and I rolled my ass down a hill in a tent. But I didn't wake up until I was in the stream with the tent.
You're just making your way down.
Oh, and I told my mom, I go, never. Because my mom had a job. She worked at this place called EBS, Ellsworth Building Supplies, and she sold kitchens to everyone in town. And so all the kids at school, their parents, if they were building a house, they got their kitchen built, designed through my mom. And I remember telling my mom, I was like, if you don't tell any kids' parents about this, it's not funny. It's not cool. My mom told every parent that walked there, I had kids come to school. My mom told me that you rolled your tent down the hill, was screaming for your mom, and
Chris doesn't know how to camp. He's not a real man.
Yeah, no, I was stripped of my manhood at 14. I had to gain it back. Yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. Besides that, nothing too bad. I've always been a pretty shameless person. It takes a lot to embarrass me, I guess, but.
I can imagine being in that area. It's a big deal to be an outdoorsman up in the north, camping and fishing and kayaking and all that shit. Hunting. That's a big deal, man. I did not roll down the hill in my tent. You don't tell.
Oh yeah, no, you don't want that getting around. You're from birth. You're supposed to know how to like fill bait traps and unload a lobster trap and cut down a tree and what widowmakers are. You're supposed to know all this shit from birth up in Maine. And did you guys know what a widowmaker
is? We used to go up to with a shot of whiskey in it? No.
A widowmaker is like when you're walking through the woods and that big branch that looks like it doesn't weigh much, but probably weighs like 300 pounds if it was an inch and the head's hanging like 10 feet above you. That's a widowmaker.
Kills you.
Yeah, I was thinking about a Boilermaker. You see, you're going straight to drinking.
Boilermaker,
yeah, that was my grandfather's drink of choice. Me and my parents, we used to go camp at this lake up in Maine. Do you know Sebago Lake?
Oh yeah,
We
absolutely.
used to go up
Yep.
to a campground up there called Point Sebago, I think it was called. It
Oh
was
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know right
that,
where you're talking about.
that was a
Beautiful.
good time, man. That was a cool place. Yeah, it's more like
Beautiful.
high end camping. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
Camping.
Yeah. It's still you're still a little south, so it's a little more. Yeah, it's a little prettier down there and stuff. But it's still Maine's beautiful no matter what. It's the freshest air in the world, freshest water. And I'm up in I'm in the down east region, but I'm like in a mountain, range area. We got
Nice.
Cadillac Mountain, Schoodic Mountain, Tunk Mountain, and it's beautiful where I'm at, man. We got mountain lions. The Wardens don't want to admit it because they don't want to scare any people from moving. Maine's getting a lot of people moving up there right now, so they don't want to admit, hey, we have lions.
Yeah.
But we have mountain lions all throughout those mountains up there. It's pretty cool. It's a
I've only
cool
been to
area.
Old Orchard Beach. That's like the only real place I've been in Maine. I've
Yep.
never really been to Maine. I've been to New Hampshire a lot in Vermont, but
Yeah. Old
I've been
Orchard's
to
cool.
Bangor.
Down, but it's cool.
I've been to Bangor for work.
Yeah, me too.
Because the military.
Yeah, I think you guys told me that. That's right. Yeah, Bangor's like pretty much I'm an hour or like 40 minutes north, even further of Bangor, but you're starting to get up into my region there. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, Chris, you seem like you're really dialed in right now. Like you really got your wits about yourself, physically and mentally. I can't wait to see the product in the ring on the 21st of April with Steve Townsel, BKFC 38, which is taking place after 39, if everybody knows how to count, which is weird, but it's happening. We don't want to keep you all night, dude. You stayed on here for almost an hour with us. Do you want to deliver a message to anybody who needs to hear this right now? You can let the world know what they need to hear, and we'll let you get on your way, dude.
Absolutely. Well, for everyone who wants to tune in April 21st, you're not just going to witness, a fight between two men, or even an extremely primal beatdown, but you're going to get to see an example of what hard work and perseverance, not giving up. You're going to get to see the pure product of all of those things, consistency. All of it. I am very excited to get to showcase what I have put over half of my life on this planet dedicated into, and I couldn't be more excited to get to showcase that to the world. And in this fight, I'm dedicating this fight to Mike Shorey. Mike was loved by many. He inspired so many people. He was given a death sentence that he denied, and he fought and he shocked many, and he constantly shocked many, and he did not give up. And he blew everything that the doctors ever said. He didn't accept, and he went out on his terms. And I think there's a lot to be said there for the kind of warrior and the kind of heart that man had. You never see anything like that these days. That's why the world is full of that's why the world is full of shitheads. Because if the world was full of Mike Shoreys, we're humans. We'd take them for granted. So the world has to be filled with these shitty people. They give contrast to good, genuine people like you two guys and stuff. And Mike Shorey is one of those people, and lived an amazing life, and he touched many hearts. And I'm going to give, his battle cry will be heard, on the 21st. So Steve, you can keep on running your suck, man, but it's just pouring gas onto a fire that you're not going to be able to put out. I'm going to put it out, stomp it out. But besides all that, thank you for having me, guys.
Absolutely, man. You're always welcome here. That was awesome. Mike, you got anything else for Chris before we let him get out of here?
Nah, man. Hey, we missed you. You're back. Can't wait to see you fight, and we'll talk to you in the near future about what's next for you once this fight's over, man.
Yes, sir. Can I give a quick shout out to my sponsors?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
All right. Thank you. Warpath Clothing always have my back. They did my fight shorts. I got them right here. They hooked me up, man. We got all our sponsors on there. Patriot Homes, Richard Zareen. These guys have been with me since day one. Fairway Auto, Wilkinson Title Agency, Tony Murray, My uncles, everyone over in Fort Myers, Rude Clothing and the Kind Botanicals, the Kind, and everyone on the team there has made this camp happen, and they've helped really change my life, and they've had my back completely, and I couldn't be more grateful for all the support, because you guys are going to get your money's worth in about 18 days here for sure. And thank you, and God is good, and I couldn't be happier. And God bless you guys. I wish you all the best,
brother.
safe travels, and have fun in Denver. And let's get it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chris. We'll talk to you soon. All right.
All right, man.
Have a good night, guys.
Take it easy.
Later.
Thanks.
Peace.
Right. There he is.
Yeah,
Chris Sarro. Dude, you know what? He apologized for it being like a more boring. I don't think that was a boring interview.
No, it was good.
That was
it was good. Yeah,
that was a different Chris Sarro. That was definitely a guy who's probably got a lot out of his system over the last couple of years, and now he has settled down into on a path. On a separate path that he was on before. And it really does sound like he's dialed in. And for him to make weight, you and I saw him in Birmingham when he was going to fight Izatula Kakar. That dude was in bad shape.
Yeah, he was.
The day of the weigh-ins, he was in bad shape. He was having a hard time cutting that weight, and he made the weight. He made it, and he didn't perform well in that fight with Izatula.
Yeah, and the weird thing is he at the beginning of that fight, he almost won the fight, and then it, he ended up getting caught, and then that was that. But that was then, now is now. We'll see what happens at this fight. These two guys are ready to go. They've been waiting to beat the shit out of each other since June.
I know.
Oh,
and Townsel's been ready. Townsel's a super nice guy too. Like we see him at events, and we have a good rapport with him. But like I said, what I said to Chris there was we all seen the technical side of him. He definitely has good boxing technique, and he knows what the fuck he's doing when it comes to boxing.
Yeah,
it's just he needed to find that right camp, those right coaches, and clear some shit up in his life that, he was going through. And now I'm really interested to see how it plays out on the 21st with him and Steve Townsel.
Yeah, I cannot wait. And you know what else I can't wait for, Kyle, is to go on
vacation.
So when everyone's watching this, we're going to be on vacation, and I cannot wait to just get out of this state. Even though I get out of it all the time, but hey, still nice to get out. We don't get out with our families enough, so it's time to spend some time with the families. But we were able to put together an episode for you guys while we were away, because we're always thinking about the fans and the supporters. So
yeah, man. And you're gonna go to Peppa Pig Land.
Yep, can't wait for that.
You're gonna get a
park. Here we come.
You're gonna get a golden tan.
Yeah,
because we know how you tan.
Yep, get that nice golden tan.
Get that nice golden tan, and I'll be down there in a couple hours away from you doing the same goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Guerrilla Warfare Apparel, Condemned Labz, Bareknuckle Corn Snacks, and Norcom Mortgage. Norcom Mortgage, and I know BKBetShark coming back around, but we're still going to shout you out to BKBetShark, one of the best in the game.
Bet your ass.
Bet your ass. With that said, Mike, you got anything else for the peeps?
No way. All I've got is peace.
Peace.